Given its standing among nations, Uganda is counted among the least developed lot. One of the reasons for this classification are the wanting literacy levels, driven to a larger part by the limited access to quality education by most students in the country. The problem, according to educationists, has been made worse by the steady education prices ascent, which began over 10 years ago.
1992-93, there was actually even before, around that time, there was a study carried out by Gonahasa. Okay, this gentleman was a religious gentleman who was appointed by government to lead a team to look at the sort of school charges government schools were levying. Gonahasa and his team came out with a recommendation that government needed to actually control charges that were being levied in government schools, considering that government was having some interventions, like the payment of teachers' salaries and so on and so forth.
Today, the exchange of quality education for big money is not only limited to private education institutions, but also the public entities.
Recently, when I saw the released primary living examinations and UGNS were advising parents on to where their children should apply, and then the implications in terms of cost. Like usual, I saw that the cost of a child joining senior one in a government-aided school was similar or even at times higher than joining a purely private school.
This precedent by government-aided schools offers private institutions good ground to keep up fees, considering that they don't get support from the state. This is made worse by government's total rollout in the school fee structure determination.
The private schools are running their schools like they are running a private business. We are in open market. We are working on competitive advantage and so on and so forth. So all I can say is that a school sets up its school fees, sets up its program, and says, this is what I'm going to charge. There's nobody now who says, actually there's no control of the school fees being paid in private schools right now. There was a time when it was mandatory that before any school levies extra, they should get permission from the Minister of Education. But I've not heard that this is what is taking place.
For instance, St. Mary's College Kisubi and St. Henry's College Kitovu, both of which are government schools, pay over 1 million shillings. Uganda Matters Namugongo, St. Lawrence and Trinity College Nabingo all pay in the range of 900,000 shillings, with some schools like Nakapiripirit Seed Secondary School and Wawulenzi Progressive School paying 100,000 and 50,000 shillings respectively. And it's not just the cost that is raising questions here, but also the type of education.
If you ask a child to read 3 lines to get 1 point, they will tell you no. We want answers bullet. We want, because, what you really say is the quality of education having improved. It's not.
75% of the time spent at school is spent on doing examinations, tests. There are very few schools, if any, that have a full co-curricular program in Uganda. More than 99% of the schools in Uganda, private or government, are not even teaching physical education. So already you can see that the schools are going in for what is commercially viable, and that's the grades.
What's worse is as the schools focus on commercial viability, promising students from humble backgrounds are being pushed to the edge in huge numbers, being denied a chance to ever compete in the overly competitive marketplace.
The social divide is going to worsen. As far as impacting onto the economic progress and human resource development, certainly the economy suffers because the bulk of the population cannot directly participate in the economic activities. They are not consumers. And the worst is the social impact, that those that you are defranchising from the basic right, they resort to crime. That's why some countries who have huge social divide have high rates of crime.
It goes without saying that Uganda has made great strides in growing the number of education service providers and access. Focus, according to experts, however, should be on the education quality, who is being targeted, who is left out, and the impact of all of this on the economy. Ingrid Nantege, NTV Business.